Welcome guys, Mel here from Mel's Motors. Behind me is a BMW 225XE. It's a hybrid with a petrol engine and battery driven. 2016. It's been with us for a little while now. It was having issues. Well, there's a display on the dashboard saying do not turn the vehicle off because it will not restart. But it was here for some time. We were driving it around, had no issues. Over the Christmas period, it was parked outside. Now it's late January. Now the message on the display has come to fruition. The car will not start. So we're going to plug into it, see what the problem is, and see if we can resolve it. Right, so we're in the car now. Just put the ignition on. This is the message we got. Do not switch off engine. You cannot restart after the engine is switched off. So we had this messaging for a good while and we were still getting the car to start. So foot's on the brake, pressing the button, nothing's happening. This car's almost 100,000 miles. But our hybrid battery, which is just switched off, let's get it back on again, it's showing 10%. So we've got 10% there. We had as low as 6% or even lower than that, and the car was still starting. These hybrid vehicles, they don't use a conventional starter motor. They actually use the alternator to start the car. That's why you get seamless change between electric drive and engine drive. Is you never hear a starter motor engage. So the alternator on most hybrids is a multi-purpose. It charges when the engine's running and when you want to go from hybrid drive to engine drive. It energizes the alternator, and the alternator uses the drive belt to seamlessly start the engine. So you never hear the ratcheting sound when the starter motor engages. We'll go over to the office. I'll show you a picture of that so it makes more sense. And then we'll get the scanner on it, and then we'll see what faults we've got and see if we can resolve this issue. So here we are in Parts Link. So I've chosen the car with the chassis number up there. So this is the alternator and starter motor. Look at the description here. It says starter motor generator. So hybrid cars use this system. So alternator, starter, all built into one. You can see it's liquid cooled as well, and it looks like we've got 3-phase wires going into this as well. Out of curiosity, we can have a look, see what these going to cost if you wanted one. And we've got a price here. If you're in the UK, it's almost £1,500 plus tax, which is £1,800. Very, very expensive item. There was a second number one there. Let's see what that one is. Yeah, this has been dropped, so it's part numbers. So that was a later number. So they used to be £1,284. Now they're £1,500. So every super session seems to put a price up for something. But those of you who didn't know, hopefully you've learned something today, and that's been interesting. Right, done a full scan of the car. We can see where the red's highlighted. We have areas of concern. Greens are all good, and the grey's not applicable to this vehicle. Well, engine control module is, but that hasn't come up for some reason. Right, let's just have a look at the battery management electronics. We can see we've got quite a few fault codes in there, and the main one of concern is this one here, which is high voltage battery cell module 5. At least one battery cell in the cell block is faulty. So it looks like we have an issue with the battery. Before we delve into replacing the battery, I've got a charge lead here, so I'm just going to plug that into the wall and just see if we can get some charge into the battery system and make sure that side's working. Right, let's do that first. Just going to plug this in. Let's see what we get. Right, so it's recognised the plug, and now it's flashing red. On here, we have some symbols. Red means not charging. There's an issue. We already know there's an issue, and the red ring is a dead giveaway. So we're not going to charge this battery up. Just going to go over to the boot, and ta-da, we have a battery. Customer bought this off eBay. We have no idea if it's good or bad, but the job for today is drop this the original battery module out, and then that one's gonna go in. This is not a tutorial. This is a high voltage battery. It can hurt and even kill. The video's for entertainment. It's for the owner of the vehicle. He wants to see us working on it. There's a whole procedure for just doing this swap. It isn't just bolt it out and unplug it and put another one in. There's a long-winded procedure. So we're going to follow the manufacturer's guide to do this properly. So we're going to go over to all data, have a look, see what the manufacturer is telling us to do, and we'll go through that procedure. Right, that's only a 7 kilowatt battery and I can't even lift it. My brake tester here is actually a weigh bridge. I've just set it to 0. I'm going to use my trolley here. I'm going to get it over there, get a hand to get the battery off. I'm going to put it on here just to see how much it weighs. If I can't lift 7 kilowatts, God knows what 75 kilowatt weighs. Right, let's see what that while I was trying to break my back. Right, that was a struggle. I managed to get it out on my own, but I lifted the jack up to the bumper level and slid the carpet across and get it out, but I couldn't get it off the trolley. And that's why. 88 kilos. So if 7 kilowatt weighs 88 kilos, 75 kilowatts, 10 times bigger. That must be 800 kilos or more. That's unbelievable. No wonder you get low range out of an electric car, because you're carrying almost a ton of batteries. Wow. Okay, that's the replacement. We need to get that one out. Let's go into the office, see what the procedure is to get the old unit out. Whilst we're still on Parts Link, I thought we'll have a quick look at these modules. You can see from the diagram there's 5 modules in there. They're not numbered 1 to 5. They're kind of numbered as a left and a right. You can see we've got 2 1s here and then 3 2s. We've got some different numbers here as well. But let's have a look, see what cell module costs. So one cell module, it's 886 plus tax. So it's £1,000 or more. Let's see if the number 2s cost any different. Yeah, roughly the same price. So to buy 5 cells, it's about £5,000 plus VAT for a 7 kilowatt battery. So that's £5,000 for, it's actually 7.6 kilowatts. So if you times that by 10 to 75 kilowatts, and this is £5,000, potentially 75 kilowatts, about £50,000. They're not normally as much as that. I know for a fact that the Jag E-Pace is £36,000 for a battery module. But this is only a hybrid. And if you're paying £5,000 for a hybrid 7.6 kilowatts, and God knows what 75 kilowatts is going to cost. Right, so this is BMW tech data. I'm limited to what I can show you on this. But first we've got to drain the air conditioning system. I've just had a look at the replacement battery. Yes, there's 2 aircon pipes going there. So it's using the air conditioning system for cooling and heating to manage the battery. We need obviously the safety instructions there. We'll have to remove the exhaust because that's in the way. To be fair, I looked at the exhaust, it didn't look too bad. Here are some of the pictures of the things we've got to do, what's got to be undone, brace bars and all sorts of bits. So the tech data's there, so I know what to do. I'm just going to read through it and then we'll go over and we'll go through it step by step. So the aircon machine is doing this degassing. While it's doing that, we're going to go to the back. Right, got to make sure now that the car's not being charged, which it isn't, because we checked that, we disconnected it. Yeah, definitely unplugged. Just going to close that cap before someone walks into it. The 12-watt battery is not being charged either, and the car's gone to sleep. So over here we've got this cover, and we need to pull the tab out. Do this. Okay, then pull this tab out. So now this is the electric system isolated. See there's a hole in here. If you're working in a workshop where you might end up walking away from the vehicle, you can put a padlock in there and stops people from reactivating or messing with the car that you're working on. But it's only me here working on it, and we don't really have an issue. So wait till the aircon's done its thing, and then we can go up and start having a look underneath. Okay, I've just stepped back in the car with the battery isolated from in the boot. I'm just going to put the ignition on, and we can see on the dashboard it says high voltage system deactivated. So we know that we're safe to go. God, I hate these chimes on these cars. Also, the air conditioning's been degassed and vacuumed. Now we're going to go up and start working on the underside. Okay, car's up in the air. I'm just going to go to the underside and have a quick look. So here's our battery unit here. We've got this brace bar that goes across, and by the looks of it, the exhaust is in the way, so we are going to need to take that off as well. See how far that goes forward. Right, so it's pretty much the whole thing. So from here all the way to the back, plate needs to come off, plate needs to come off, trims need to come off, and then we'll gain access to electrical and aircon plumbing. Well, so much for reading the instructions. That's not the battery, that's the battery. Okay, so because I was looking at the top of that one over there, I just confused it with this one. Right, so the battery's on this side. So here are aircon pipes, the main feed and the 3-phase out. Okay, so I'm going to remove this bar and this trim. Not this trim. I overlooked at the instructions, but from the underside it just looked like it was reading the other way around. Alright, no big deal. You've got power tools. It shortens the workload quite quickly. So, okay. Looks like everything we need to unplug seems to be on this side. Let's go have a look at the other one. Right, so those are the 3 things that we need to take off there. So everything on the other side. No, that looks like it. Just 3 things. I'm just going to go back into reception and look at this data again. Right, so we've done the checking of the battery, make sure it was isolated. So show me 3-phase wires here. Looks like that goes to the drive motor, so it looks like we have to undo those. A few other bits and pieces. I think the more trims I take off, the more evident it becomes that what we're taking off is on the other side. This is difficult to tell from the pictures. Alright, let's go back. Okay, so this plug here looks like it goes to the control module here, but I'm not quite sure why we have to undo that, because we just undo it from here and take the battery out. So it's this and this, battery out. So this is where we got to. Everything is off. I've loosened this trim up here, and the reason he wants you to undo these cables from the control unit is so we can get it out the way. But I reckon I can drop this side down just enough to twist the whole thing out without having to do any more work. You have straps off here. I've undone most of the bolts. I've got one left here which is loose, and I've got one left buried up there which is loose as well. So next thing to do is get this trolley cleared, get this under here. I'm going to stack some timber on there just so that the tray's lower than the battery, so that I can get my hand up there and do the rest of the bolts, and then hopefully we can wangle that out. The only thing I'm worried about now is this ramp leg might be in the way. I'm going to give it a go and see where we get to. The other part of the earth strap's in the way. Try and do that as well. There we go, battery's out. It's a bit awkward, but I did get it out. We just need to go back up in that angle, and then we'll be able to hopefully get it back in. Okay, both batteries are there. The one came out of the car. This is the one that's going in. Just going to check the numbers. So this is 7,613 watt hours. So 7.6 amp hours. Exactly the same. Part number ends in 120. Well, that's probably not the part number, to be fair. This one, 8. Yeah, this is the part number. On the, actually, you can't buy this whole system off BMW. You've got to buy modules inside, because we couldn't find this number or even the whole module in PartsLink. Might be available if you ring them up, but what I understand is these are repairable, so you buy modules individually. So normally you'll have that number combined as a whole number, as opposed to 4 digits and then the rest of it. 8687752, 8687752. So they're exactly the same battery. Apart from the control unit is built inside this, and that's programmed to the car. That one's programmed to a different car. So now what we're going to do is take the lid off the original one first, because that one we know is faulty. But be mindful, if you do attempt this, watching this video, is the battery modules are inside. If you touch anything in there, it could be pretty painful. So I'm going to open that one, because that one's a faulty one, before I attempt that one, because if anything goes wrong with this one, or we can't swap anything over, then I have to try and get that one programmed to this car. So next step, undo the 50 odd bolts that are holding that together and see what's inside. Okay, so these are the cells, the battery cells. There's 2 there, 3 at the bottom. These are the ones that cost £1,000 each. This control unit here, I'm going to swap this with this one and probably this one as well. I'm not sure what this one does, but I'm going to put those two into that one, and then when we put it back in, the car's going to recognize these modules, and then we won't have any issues with having to reprogram these ones. Some modules are not reprogrammable. Once they're programmed to one car, they'll stay programmed to that car, so not going to take the chance. You can saw how easy it was to take the cover off, so I'm going to do that, swap them out, and then put it back in. Okay, both batteries stripped, modules both out. So this is the one we want, this is the one we don't want. So that's that one, and this unit. I think this is the unit that activates the power to come out the side down there. And that's that one. So this battery is not scrap because 4 of the modules still work in there, so someone could probably utilise that. If they've got a module down, that will help somebody, but it's going back to the customer anyway. So I'm going to bolt these back in, and then we'll stick it back on there at that funny angle we had it at, and then we'll get it back in. Okay, back together, up she goes. Okay, battery's back in. It's a bit of a 3-man job, but we got it in. Saved me having to take all these cabling out. Just having it at a slight angle really helped. This is the first time I've done this, so far so good. Just need to do all the plumbing now, get the electrics back on, the aircon. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to work with the aircon degassed, but I don't want to gas it until I've checked it and make sure everything's worked. So we'll put it back in. I'm not going to put the exhaust on or any of the heat shields. Once all that's done, we'll have a look on the dashboard and see if we've still got the same faults, and see what the percentage of this battery is, to be fair, because we're not even sure if this battery is any good. So let me do this, and then we'll have a look in the car. Right, I'm just going to reset this battery again. So push the black tab back in. I had to do this two-hand last time. Well, that was a bit difficult to get in. On the side here, it's difficult to see, but there's a little security tab to get a pick to put into the side to release it, so I can get the clip back in. Even though it's got a little padlock bit on there, you still can't push it in unless you free that off. So it's no way it's accidentally going to power itself up. Right, that's done. I'm going to leave that out for a minute and put the ignition on and see what we've got. Okay, well, still telling me 10%. Still telling me 10%. I'm going to see if this will start. Well, the car started. It's got no exhaust on it. Well, that's good news. So we know the battery works. We're going to go outside and put the charger on and see if this will charge up. State of charge low. It's just ironic that they both had 10%. There we go. So that's yellow. Yellow. Let's just count down to time, I guess. And now it's gone to blue. It's charging. Well, that's good news. So It's Saturday afternoon, so I'm going to leave that on charge. Probably come back Monday, finish the rest of the job off. You probably won't notice a thing because this video will be seamless. So the customer's going to be happy, so I'm going to give him a quick call so he knows where we're at. I just came in the car to get the scanner out so it's not left in there all weekend, and I thought, well, I better just scan it and see if I can clear these codes. So let's do clear diagnostic trouble code, see if they'll disappear or not. Otherwise we'll have more things to look at on Monday. Well, all the important codes cleared. What's this one? Car access. Not worried about that. Battery's all clear, all done. And on the dashboard, you can see that it's charging as well. Okay, brilliant news, especially for the customer. Ignition off. We'll come back and we'll fit all the rest of the stuff again on a Monday. Well, it's Monday, we're back in, regassing the system, just doing a vacuum at the moment. We'll get the gas back in. I didn't fully charge it on Saturday. I left the charger on and I got one of the guys to take the charger off. I didn't want it charging over the weekend with nobody here. Charger's back on. See where we're at with the charger. Right, we're over 3/4 full, so we're making progress there. As soon as I've done the aircon regas, we'll get it up, put the exhaust system back on, all the under trays, and then we'll double check the fault codes and go for a road test. Right, underside all back together, car's all complete, ready to go, aircon's done, battery's fully charged. So I haven't started it, so I'm starting it again from fresh with a fully charged battery. Right, 100% fully charged. It was obviously due a service. Just want to know how many miles this 100% is going to give us. It doesn't really say. Okay, let's get my lights on. Didn't get a chance to finish it earlier in the day, so now it's gone 6 o'clock. It's pretty dark outside. Well, it doesn't tell you, so I'm just going to get it out the workshop and go for a road test. Right, so we're in pure electric mode now, and we can see the battery is discharging as we drive in electric. I've done less than a mile, and you can see how quickly that battery is depleting. It's a small battery, but when I was charging it up, when you opened the door, it was telling you the amount of miles you were going to get out of it, and it looked like it was going to be about 6 miles. So as of right now, I've done about 1.5 miles. Part of that was with the engine running, and then the engine switched off, and well, we're reverted over to battery. So we're still on battery now. You can see the rev counter's not on, and we've lost 20% of our battery already, and I don't think we've even done 2 miles. Back. We've got TPMS light that came on, but I know the tyre pressures are okay. It just needs a reset. see we're not going very fast. We're going to do about 30 miles an hour, and we've lost 27% of our battery. Well, that was about 2.5–3 miles, and we lost half of our battery. So this 7.6 kilowatt hour battery will do 6 or 7 miles, and we didn't get above 40 miles an hour, so most of that was about 30 miles an hour. So your £6,000 worth of battery, so it's about £1,000 a mile. That's about all you're getting out of it. On paper it sounds like a great idea to have a hybrid. Actually, on paper it sounds like a really good idea to have an electric, and this battery came out of a crash damaged car. It wasn't one that was end of life or head gasket had gone. At about a third of the mileage that this has had, and yet we're getting 3 miles to half a tank of juice, and the engine has got half a size tank as well for fuel. So it's a lose-lose, because the other half would have probably got you 150 miles of fuel, but you're only getting 6 miles worth of that extra space that's taken up with the battery. First time I've ever had to do a battery on one of these, and it's the first time I've actually looked at the mileage to see how many miles you get out of a charge, but not very impressed. Well guys, something different. Hope you enjoyed it. Although we had technical data to help us with the job, I still couldn't distinguish between a fuel tank and a battery tank. When your brain sees something on the floor, it interprets that you're seeing the same thing up top, and because the battery was upside down, I couldn't see the bottom of it, but made it for an interesting video. I hope it did anyway. As always guys, hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification. If you enjoyed this video and you like other videos, there'll be a couple up here that you could have a look at. Until next time, take care guys.